We don't want to drive.
I just want to drive away from Ohio. See some shit.
I'm good.
See some shit.
I'll stay right here.
I'll come visit.
I mean, I want to go on vacation different places, but I don't want to live anywhere else.
Right.
I don't want to live anywhere else either. I just don't want to live anywhere.
Good luck.
Just travel. Like, I'm tired of this place. Let's go to the next one. Get to see all kinds of like different places, woods, forestry, like fucking lakes. You go up to fucking Yellowstone, then you go down to the Grand Canyon. You can hit up the mountains, everything. Just see it all. See some of the most beautiful places. Granted, most of these places are tourist attractions. So there's gonna be a lot of people. This is where you like discover other things that like, you know what I mean? You know how many different Ren Fests I could go to? Comic-Con? Like,
I hope you can.
I hope so too. Comic-Con's a must, though. I gotta go to Comic-Con sometime.
Meanwhile, we'll be here. Not me. But by the time he leaves, I'll be here. I'm not going nowhere.
That's right. She'll buy the house and then I'll make her keep a room for us when we decide to come home for a while.
Yeah, you, Crystal, and Jackson can share the same room.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I'll sleep in the RV.
Oh, okay.
We're pretty set up there in the RV. But
Yeah,
if you wouldn't mind taking
I
the
can tell you what,
kids.
Jackson, you can have the room. I'm gonna go sleep in the RV.
You're gonna be camping out in my driveway, like.
Yeah, exactly.
My car goes there.
Car's going
Now,
to
have you
move
ever
for a
played the
week.
game of life? You're not supposed to smooch off of other people, remember?
Smooch?
Mm-hmm.
You mean
Mooch.
mooch?
That's what I meant.
Smooching is
He'll
kissing.
just
I know.
drive through the privacy
You're not supposed
fence.
to smooch other people. All right. Well, welcome back. Bonsai Movie Crew. We are the Bonsai Movie Crew.
Not for much longer.
Not for much longer. We're about to lose one.
Yeah,
And then
but you're
gain
gonna
one.
Gain one.
Lose
Not
one and gain
losing
one.
anything.
We're going to lose
just
one
getting
and
rid
the
of
substitute's going to become a permanent. Yeah.
Then we don't have a substitute anymore.
Then we won't have a substitute anymore.
We can always tag in Alec if he's available.
Yeah, if he's available. Yeah. Well. Anyway,
Then the room will be actually full of adults. I'm an adult now.
yes, you are an adult
Started
now.
already.
Yeah. See, most adults don't say, I'm an adult now.
They do whenever they're 18.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure we all had that moment. We're like,
Probably
yeah,
did. Like,
I'm
what
out.
can I do? Without going to jail.
The same shit you're already doing.
Yeah, the same
Mhm.
shit you're already doing.
Gotta wait 3 years to drink.
Yeah. No, now they gotta wait 3 years to do anything. They can't even buy cigarettes anymore.
Oh, yeah.
They can't
That
do none of
sucks.
that shit. But then again, smoking's kind of dying anyway. People don't really
Yeah,
smoke
people
anymore.
Which is weird because I was driving the other day and I saw 2 consecutive cars in a row smoking out their windows.
Were they old people?
No. They were like younger, like 20s.
That's weird.
I
It
know.
is weird because it's all vaping now. Like,
Yeah.
people
I know.
vape.
Yeah, a lot of
I
people
see
do
vapes
vape.
everywhere. Like I see everyone hitting vapes in their car and then
Which is also crazy to me. Like,
I thought that vaping was worse.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. It's supposed
that's
to
I don't know
create-
if it's worse or better.
It's supposed
I
to
don't
create
fucking
that
know.
popcorn lung.
Yeah,
I
but,
think
I mean,
that-
it doesn't create cancer lung. So I mean, what's the difference?
Either way, you're going to die from.
Either
lung-
way, yeah, it's
lung
probably going to
issues
kill
from
I
you.
still think like
inhalation.
it doesn't really matter. But
Well, that's
ways
why
are
whenever
not
I quit
great.
smoking, I was like, I'll just go to vaping, and I'm thinking like, why would I want to do that? Like, I'm trading one habit for another.
Right.
Plus, I don't
Just
know, like
get rid of all of it.
with
and be done.
vaping, like when do you stop? You know what I mean? Like when you have
Yeah,
a
like,
cigarette,
when
like
you
okay, done with the
Well,
cigarette, it's
the
out.
vapes
But like,
that they have nowadays, they're like Crystal uses a vape thing,
yeah,
and she doesn't like just keep hitting on it. She like take a hit off of it and set it down.
I know, but that's wild to me. Like I'm so
I know,
used
like
to
you're used to like
smoking.
smoking, like
Yeah.
you're until it's gone. Like,
Yeah, then when it's
all right,
gone, then they're done. Yeah,
All right,
like
and in an
with a-
hour, I'll
with a
smoke
vape-
another one.
yeah, with vape you got like just unlimited, and that's wild to me. I guess.
Yeah, she just takes a hit off of it, like, and then sets it down. And then, like, a few minutes later, like 5-10 minutes later, she'll take a hit off of it again, set it down.
It's just wild to me.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
whenever you lit a cigarette, you like, because you had a choice. You had your regular cigarettes, and you had the 100s, which I think were just larger butts. That's all they were. They weren't actually more cigarette. And whenever you were done with that, like, all right, it's spent. You put it out, and then you waited like an hour or two, however long you did between. Some people only 5 or 10 minutes,
Yeah.
and you lit up another one, and you're smoking on that. Like, I've seen people just like light one cigarette with another cigarette, keep going. I'm like, woof,
No,
woof. Like that's.
I was never that bad.
No, I wasn't either. I was a pack a day kind of guy. Like, so. Anyway,
I couldn't even imagine doing a pack a day.
well, whenever we were your age, smoking was like, that was the thing. There was no vaping. Did not exist. There was no vaping at all.
Well, I knew that.
But like for us, like we all had cigarettes. That's how we socialized. You were able to smoke in places in restaurants. Restaurants had smoking sections. Hell, I remember spending hours upon hours at the Waffle House, and whenever you go there, you could just smoke and drink an assload of coffee with your friends for like hours because they weren't kicking you out because it was free refills.
Underage?
You had to be 18.
Yeah, back then it was 18.
Yeah.
You had to be 18 to smoke and buy cigarettes and smoke, and then you had to be 21 to buy alcohol and drink. So now it's 21 to do both, and then kids aren't even really smoking anymore. It's a good way to kill. Honestly, like kids nowadays, like I don't even know what would even appeal them to want to smoke or try it. You know what I mean? It's insane.
They vape.
Yeah, they vape. I mean,
so it's not really. It's not curtailing it.
It's so funny because now they have smoke detectors in bathrooms at schools and vape detectors.
Yeah.
It's so wild to me. Vape. I don't even know how you detect.
I got called in the office once because somebody was vaping in the bathroom. I was using the bathroom, and then I got in trouble for it. Like, what do you want me to do?
You didn't get in trouble for it.
Yes, I did.
They called me and was like, "Hey, we just want to let you know
we searched your daughter.
We found a lighter on her." I'm like, "Well, she carries a lighter on her because she does a lot of crafts and shit." And
it was in my bag.
But I was like, "Yeah, maybe she shouldn't have had it at school," which is not a good idea.
I forgot it was in there. What do you want me to do?
But they're like, "Well, we also saw her coming out of the bathroom after one of the vape detectors went off, and she was on camera coming out of the bathroom." I said, "My daughter doesn't vape." I was like, "I know that for a fact. She does not vape." They're like, "Okay, well, we just wanted to make you aware." I'm like, "Aware of what?" She doesn't vape.
Yeah.
So, and that's not me being like a defensive parent. That's me telling you that she doesn't vape. If she did, I would know. So.
It'd be kind of obvious.
Yeah. I was like, my kids don't keep things from me. And if they do, they're really fucking good at it. So. I was like, I'm kind of like, I'm in my kids' shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm very much a part of their life, and I'm not like other parents who are just like negligent. Like, I know what my kids are doing.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, I know my kid isn't vaping. Anyway.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to leave me alone.
Huh?
He doesn't know how to leave me alone.
Me? I leave you alone. All the time.
When are you coming home? Today, Dad. I'm going back tomorrow. Why? I'll be back.
Whatever. You're the one who comes in the house after being at your mom's and like gives me like a 5-minute hug.
Because of you. You
After
taught
2
me to
days.
do that. You
After
taught
2
me how
days.
to be clingy.
She's like on me, and I'm like, "Okay, Madison, I gotta walk now."
She'll
stop me on the steps and hug me, and I'm like, "I'm trying to go down the stairs, Madison."
That was today.
Is that why you're leaving states away? Because he won't leave you alone? 'Cause
Yeah.
That's totally it.
I could have just like blocked him or something for you. I don't want you to.
You could have just let gravity take its course and just went down.
No, because she's getting ready to leave. I don't want her to be injured in the military.
He wants me to leave.
I do. I want her to go out and explore
very
the world.
He wants you to have that
proud
experience.
of you.
No, he wants that excuse.
No, I'm gonna miss
he
the
wants,
fuck out
he
of her,
wants
but
you to have that experience.
I want her to go out and see the world and
Very
make a life.
proud of you, but I
The
don't
world
want
from
you to
inside
go.
of a military base.
No, you'll see of the
it.
world. Don't worry. You'll experience things because you're gonna meet other people, and they're gonna be like, "Hey, let's go to this concert thing or something." You're like, "All right, let's go do
Only
that."
if
You
it's
know?
Billie Eilish or Slipknot, maybe Korn.
See. Anyway,
Just those
let's go ahead and get into our creator profile. Sure.
You gonna let me read it all, or you gonna make me pick?
You get one or the other. Well, we have to get through this stuff. We're trying to keep the time.
You guys are the
down.
ones that interrupt me.
Yeah, that's what we do. That's the whole point.
Then interrupt yourself.
Well,
I don't give a fuck, Keisha.
do you know who it is, Eric?
I want to say it's the guy that played Kane. I can't remember.
No, it was
Tom Noonan?
Yeah, no, it wasn't him.
Damn.
It was Peter Weller.
Mhm.
No, Peter Weller. He's old as fuck now, dude. I will read Peter Weller because it's not very long, and then you can read the movie. Sound good? Good. Cool. You guys think about your favorite movies of Peter Weller's? I'm sure it's not a
I'm
very long
confirming
list.
mine
I honestly don't even know what all he's
because I'm not sure if it was him or not. But I'm.
Was
checking.
he in Videodrome?
No, that was What's his last name's Woods.
Oh, James Woods. That's
James
right.
Woods.
Yeah. Yep, you're right.
Did we watch Leviathan?
There it is.
No.
He was in Star Trek Into the Darkness.
I was trying to confirm that.
Oh,
Leviathan?
Leviathan.
yeah. Did we watch it?
You should.
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
If you haven't, you should. If you
Oh.
like
All his movies are going to be old as fuck, Madison.
yes, I see that.
if you like underwater like version of the original Alien, you'd like Leviathan. Leviathan's good.
All right. Peter Frederick Weller was born in Stevens Point, Wisconsin, to Dorothy Jean Davidson and Frederick Bradford Weller, a federal judge and career helicopter pilot for the United States Army. He traveled extensively as his father flew around the world. Before he was out of his teens, he had attended high schools in Heidelberg, Germany, and San Antonio, Texas, then enrolled in the University of North Texas. Attracted by the chance of playing trumpet in one of the college's celebrated jazz bands, music is in his family. 3 generations on his mother's side were piano players, and jazz is still his overriding interest. Ask him who his favorite performer in any art form is, and he will say Miles Davis. It was with a BA in theater and a scholarship to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts that he left Texas for New York. 2 weeks after graduating, he made his first appearance on Broadway as David the Joseph Pabst New York Shakespeare Festival production of David Rabe's Sticks and Bones, a role he repeated on the London stage. While a student of legendary actress and drama coach Uta Hagen, Weller appeared on and off Broadway in works like William I don't know how to say that, Summer Brave, Thomas Babes, Rebel Woman, and Full Circle. One of the last plays directed by Otto whatever. He began garnering critical acclaim with his
You went
portrayal.
Irish earlier.
Yeah, I did. I have many.
He didn't do it on purpose. Don't let him fool you.
I did do it on purpose.
No, he
Did you?
didn't.
No.
He said no.
I call lies.
He began garnering critical acclaim with his
I
portrayal
call
of Billy
bullshit.
Wilson in Streamers, directed by Mike Nichols for Joseph Papp on Lincoln Center, or at Lincoln Center.
Why is everything so long? Like, can't we just say he was in this by this
I know,
person?
well, this is from IMDb, if anybody cares to know.
I mean,
So
it's just so much information.
he continued that success with his performance of as Cliff in the Wool Gatherer and as Nick in the first American production of David Mamet's. Why does everybody have weird fucking last names? The Woods.
It's like everything he's in, they're like Robin of Locksley's father's cousin's uncle's former roommate.
Directed by this and performed at this stage in this town and
It's
city.
like, well, I don't need that much information. Just give me the name and the director or whatever.
During his period, he had periods apparently. No, I'm just kidding. During this period, he became a member of the highly respected Actors Studio under this Aegis of Elia Kazan and Lee Strasberg. Weller's film debut was in Richard Lester's Butch and Sundance, the early days in 1979. He then co-starred with Alan King and Ali MacGraw in Sidney Lumet's Just Tell Me What You Want in 1980. And with Albert Finney and Diane Keaton, sorry, I almost botched that one. And Alan Parks' Shoot the Moon in 1982. Other film credits include Firstborn in 1984 with Terry Garr, the HBO made-for-TV Apology in 1986, co-starring Leslie Ann Warren, and Of Unknown Origin, the film which won Weller the Best Actor award at the Paris International Film Festival for his performance as an upwardly mobile bachelor with a serious rat problem. Okay. That same film also marked his first association with Leviathan in 1989, directed by director George P. Cosmatos. Whatever. Fuck off. They didn't even mention
weird fucking names.
They didn't even mention RoboCop at all in his biography, which is probably the main thing that he's known for.
I don't know. He's not a huge fan, especially not of this one.
Who, he's not?
Yeah, he was.
It's probably
he
why
was
he didn't
really
return for the
upset
third
about
one.
the first one, but that was mostly because of the costume.
Oh, right, yeah. Yep.
He probably just has bad memories, I guess. Is what
Yeah, I would think, yeah, that's probably what it is. Anyway, favorite Peter Weller movie?
Leviathan.
I don't know any. Besides this
If I
one.
remember
In the first
Leviathan,
one.
I
You
can't.
didn't watch the first one?
RoboCop.
Did we
I
ever
don't know,
watch
I don't think
Leviathan
so.
together? I can't remember.
I just watched it recently.
I'm watching the trailer. I'm trying to figure
It's
out if I've watched
really-
it. before.
I would
liked
have to
it a
watch
lot.
it, trailer, to see.
I liked it a lot.
So,
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen it, though.
It was one of those movies I found like on a list where it was like if you've seen like most people have seen this but they haven't seen this, and it was comparing The Abyss.
I was going to say, it sounds
Leviathan.
like The Abyss.
Yeah, but they both came out pretty much like the same time. So it was one of those like this one overshadowed this one. But I really liked Leviathan.
Was it better than The Abyss?
Yeah, I would
See,
say
I've seen The Abyss, and it's
because
not bad.
The Abyss, well, because I'm going to say that Leviathan was better because it had a
Didn't
better-
The Abyss have like a really, really bad production, though? Like, it was like just littered with problems.
Oh, I don't know. I know, like, so The Abyss doesn't have the horror element that Leviathan did. Leviathan was more scary to me. It was more claustrophobic. It was more everything that I thought The Abyss would be.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm not saying The Abyss was bad. Just,
Right.
you know.
Just
but
that it didn't have that element.
it didn't give me that same, like, you know how Alien gives you that claustrophobic, like,
Yeah.
terrifying, like, ooh. Like, that was kind of how Leviathan was for me.
Okay.
Just in water. So I liked it a lot.
I'm going to say RoboCop because it's what I know, and the first one's amazing.
That's fair.
Star Trek Into the Darkness.
Oh, that's a good one, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I'm not a huge Star Trek
Into the
movie
Darkness
person.
is
Neither
really
was
good.
I.
Who the
I mean-
fuck was he in that?
He was the main captain guy that like made that big ass ship.
Oh, yeah.
That one girl's father or whatever.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. It's been a while since I've seen that movie, but I'm still going to go
That's
with
why when I was
RoboCop.
going through it, I was like, he was in that, and I was like, oh yeah, now I remember.
RoboCop's a shit. That's what I'm going with.
It's fair.
Yeah.
Once you
Robo-
see Leviathan, though, I think you might change your
RoboCop. I
mind.
might. I don't know. I love RoboCop, dude. I grew up on
It
this
was.
shit.
The first one is very good. It's very
So.
good.
RoboCop 3.
He's not even in it.
I was gonna say, like, what? Oh shit! What does Jeremiah call that dude?
He
said
said RoboCop.
Thinner cop.
Thinner
Thinner
cop.
cop. Yeah, he always
Thinner
called him
RoboCop or whatever.
Thinner cop. No, because he was the guy in Thinner
Mm-hmm.
and RoboCop, and that was pretty much it. And then he went to like SVU,
Right.
and so he just calls him by his two major move roles. Thinner cop.
Thinner cop. All right. Moving on.
I don't know how he walks in that like that. That just
What, in the suit?
yeah.
Well,
It
if you look at the
literally
suit
looks like he's
closely,
like this. The
if
whole
you look at
time.
it closely, like all he is like he's in like a leotard,
yeah,
and then they put the suit over him in pieces.
Well, the original suit was not as forgiving. It was very heavy. It was actually
Right.
metal. This one was fiberglass. If you couldn't tell,
Yeah, for sure.
this one was not.
I just
nearly
say
as-
like the way he was like standing and walking, he literally looks like this. Like,
Did
the
it?
whole
Was it just
time.
me, or he seemed like the suit almost seemed bigger in this?
Kind of, yeah.
Or was it
taller.
just me?
It wasn't as
seemed like he was
lean.
taller.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
didn't look as lean as he did in the first
Yeah.
one. Like in the first one, I could really believe that it was like a robot because everything was kind of constricted and small.
I don't know, because like in the first one,
more so here, like in his chest area.
In
That's
the
what I'm
first one,
talking
like
about.
you could see a lot of the leotard underneath the suit.
Yeah.
With this one, they definitely took more with taking and like covering a lot of that up, like in the neck area, on the back of the neck and the head and all that stuff, and like even down to his hands and arms. I remember only one or two instances in this movie where I could actually catch the leotard underneath the suit. Whereas in the first one, dude, there's a shitload of instances where I could see it.
I still like the suit better in the first one. Honestly.
I agree. I like the suit in both. To be honest with you, I'm not gonna.
The only thing I liked about this one was the color. The color was cool.
The color of the suit, I thought the same thing because it had that like kind of purplish,
the pearlescent,
like that. Yeah, that kind of glow to it, which was pretty.
Like
awesome.
when you see an oil slick, it was like
exactly.
Look.
Yeah, like it was like some kind of like metal that you'd never heard of or something.
Right. Oh, this one comes from Mars.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's use
it's
it on the cop.
Stop action.
That must be why everything was bouncing off of him, huh?
Stop action was cracking me up.
Oh God.
Oh, the stop motion shit.
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't even notice.
Did you not notice like when he got pushed?
Talk about the movie.
That was clay.
What?
What?
Are you kidding me?
That looked like it was clay.
Or whenever
when he got pushed,
the big robot was bouncing the other robot off.
No.
You guys are joshing.
Bouncing him
when he got pushed,
and it was like it looked like, wow, this is what it looked like whenever I play with my toys.
No, you guys are joshing me. That's not a thing.
Like when he got pushed into that concrete wall, it looked like he just got pushed into clay. Like his body morphed into the wall,
What?
which was okay with me. I thought that was entertaining as shit.
I'll be honest. I know we haven't really started talking, but I was thoroughly entertained up until Kane got turned
into a robot.
Mm-hmm. That's where it fell apart.
There is so much to this movie that I'm like,
I mean, not entertained in the way that I was with RoboCop.
Right.
But more so like when that first like commercial comes on and dude gets like electrocuted.
But that was all like, they had. But I need one of those for my car.
But I was like, oh, this.
I love it. He's like, and it doesn't even run down your battery. I'm like, yeah, dude.
Yeah, I was
and that guy was definitely wearing a fucking wig, by the way.
Yeah, and I love the actor. I can never remember his name, but Gremlins 2.
No, not him. The guy that was in the car.
Yeah. No, I'm saying, but him.
Yeah, I know.
When he showed up, I was like, oh, is he gonna be a man? Oh, nope, we're not.
No, that was it.
But like the fake commercials in the first one killed me, and like all the news segments and stuff, and I was getting the same vibe from this. And I was thoroughly enjoying all of it. And,
for about the first 10 minutes of the movie.
And then it stops.
And then it stops. And then, like, then you've got, like, a toddler running a drug empire. We'll get into
it. Dude, that shit was fucking great, dude. I love the fact that you had a 12-year-old, like, who was smarter than all of the other... Like, he was, like, the main villain.
Yeah.
Really. He was awesome.
Until he had to, like...
He's my favorite part of the
movie. When he first shot RoboCop, that was... He's like, oh, you can't shoot a kid,
You can't shoot a kid, can you, fucker?
Yeah. And then, like... But there was so many things that would happen that were so contradictory to each other.
Yeah.
Because, like, this kid's a badass, but then he can't watch him torturing this dude.
Because he's still a kid.
Pulls out a fucking machine gun and starts laying down ammo.
Yeah, while babies are present. Hey, let's move here. Wait,
you do know we're talking about a robot cop, right?
No, the kid.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, this movie has a robot cop.
Yeah, and it's believable.
I do want to address the old man, the owner of of OCP. He was so nice in the first one, and then in this one, he's a complete dick.
Yeah, he's the one that gave him permission to kill he's like, you're fired.
Yeah. Yeah, like in the first one, he's such a nice guy. You're like, oh, he's like a good, like,
he
enterprise
just so happened
owner.
to be a CEO that had bad people working under him.
Yeah, but like in this one, he's the bad person.
Yeah,
like he's a terrible person. And I'm like,
shit.
What happened to the nice guy from the first one? Because that was one of the things that I really liked about the first one is like you would think that the CEO. Kind of like, they're always the main bad guy, but he wasn't.
The CEO's like, doing business and doing this, that, and the other. So he comes back for a meeting and finds out he's got a monster working under him, and he's like, "Oh, you're fired."
You're fired, yeah.
And then it's like, "Oh, wait, maybe we killed the wrong guy."
Yeah, and then in this one, you're like, "Damn, dude!" Like
maybe come to find out, maybe that other guy was doing what he wanted, and then when he started getting found out, he's like, "Oh yeah, you're."
No, I don't want to think that. I want to think that in the first one, he was just a nice guy.
No.
Yeah, I think this is just an alternate reality or something.
Now, this is just like another writer and director taking and they're like, oh, we're going to make him the main guy. You're like, why? Because, well, most of the time they are.
It's a convoluted mess.
It is. It's a fucking mess.
Nah, you missed the biggest point in the first one. That's why. This is what I'm just gonna believe.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Madison's gonna read the movie, and we are
Well,
going
would
to
you
interrupt
watch and
her.
recommend?
We're going to shut
Oh
up.
yeah. Sorry. Would you watch? Would you recommend, Madison?
No, not really. I don't really want to watch it again either.
not Madison's kind of movie, I guess.
Tape her eyelids open.
I'm not gonna say that I'm entertained by this movie. I still like this movie. It's not as good as the first, but it still is entertaining. I think that the villains are most of the villains are better. You can't like Red Foreman from the first one was fucking amazing. I don't remember his name, but I absolutely love him in the first
Yeah,
one.
he had like one of those weird one name kind of names, right? Where it was like, oh, this is like in this, it's Kane.
Yeah. I don't remember his name in the first one, but he's awesome. Like I love him. He's like the best part of the first movie. But in this one, though, they do have. I like the villains in this movie. I think that Kane is awesome. He's a very interesting character.
Tom Noonan always kills it.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Until he becomes a robot.
The kid is awesome. I think that he adds like this sort of, I don't know, man, like this deviation from like what you would think a villain would be. And he's great. I think he's very mischievous, and I like it.
What the society has turned kids into.
Yeah, exactly. I like him in that. I even like the girl who kind of has a bit of a heart. You know what I mean? But she has a heart for the wrong people, I guess. But I think that a lot of the villains in this, I even think that the giant robot at the end is kind of awesome, and he's still mentally addicted to this drug.
I couldn't get over that.
You didn't like it?
No,
did.
I hated the Kane robot. After Kane became a robot, that was where it all fell off for me. First of all, he doesn't have any, like, his brain is the only thing that's left.
Yeah.
But he's still addicted. Like, I get that.
Well, they say addiction is a mental
in the
thing.
brain, but like, he's also a robot. We can't, I don't know, program that out.
Well, you can't program anything out of his brain.
Sure
Just like you can't program,
can.
you couldn't program anything out of a.
RoboCop,
RoboCop's-
they did for a hot minute. I'm
Yeah,
saying
but he
you
still
can't,
came
like,
out
this
of
is
it.
better technology, right? And okay, here we got RoboCop, right? Right, which is like the pinnacle. I mean, he still looks semi-human and all that good stuff. And then the better version looks like a pumped up Ed 209.
Yeah, he couldn't even walk in a front door.
No, it makes no fucking sense that they perfected it the first time and they go, let's go backwards now.
I will say that it was kind of dumb.
And to use this technology and say we can't get rid of an addiction is ludicrous. It's ludicrous. And then we put the lawnmower face front and center anytime, but not all the time. Not all the time. We only need that like every so often.
That's exactly what vibes that was giving me. Like I was like thinking the whole time, like Lawnmower Man.
Yeah, like why put the face on there at all then? Other than to show like it's Kane, but it doesn't look like Kane. Looks like the Lawnmower Man.
That's what we need to watch, Lawnmower Man.
Fuck yeah, we do.
The fucking movie's ridiculous.
Did you
Oh
guys
my
see the
God.
one
The book is so good though, you
Yeah.
know? Like fuck.
the robot that took its head off and there
Yeah.
was this
Dude,
red painted
dude.
skull? It was
Okay.
like
It was-
I'd never seen
Why?
RoboCop 2 before, and I was looking for like clips and stuff to use for like the promo. And I'm like going through all these clips. I'm like, some of these I shouldn't watch. It looks like it gives away like key things. And then it was like RoboCop 2 prototypes, and I was like, not my work. I was fucking dying, dude. Especially,
I thought it was great.
fucking dying.
was that supposed to be a human in the
Mhm.
the
Yeah, they were
robot?
They were
cyborgs.
both cops, so
Mhm.
they were made from dead cops. Yeah, so they were supposed to be like,
You're under
The one that
arrest.
starts shooting everybody. Pow.
And then the lights come on.
yeah.
Oh shit.
So anyway, I'm gonna say I would recommend this to people. I don't think it's a bad movie. It's not a great movie, but it's not bad. It's not as good as the first, but it is still an entertaining movie. Do I think it drags out a little bit? Yes, it's a little bit long in the tooth, just a hair.
Mm.
Like it's.
I agree.
I feel like I feel like
Could
they
have been
could.
10 minutes.
Yeah,
15
10 to
minutes
15
short.
minutes shorter. I think. You know,
I mean, if they would have made the Kane robot like RoboCop and actually like a human,
so I think
Yeah.
they.
Yeah.
I think
that
they-
would have been a little bit more of a.
I think the issue here, like, if they would have shaved off the alternate programming bit, where he like gets programmed and reprogrammed, and he's like this nice cop and blah blah blah. If they would shave that out of the movie, I'd
it would
be
probably be decent.
happier with that
Yeah.
because, yeah, I get what they were trying to do, but it added just too much to the movie.
Well, and it also
because it takes you. It's like this little side quest.
Yeah, I was
that
gonna
you
say
didn't need.
it adds nothing.
Yeah,
Because if it were one of those situations where, like, you know, he was this way and it took him and Kane fighting to, like, knock him out of it, I can kind of see that, right? Like, you get that Indiana Jones thing going where, you know, he's, like, you know, hypnotized and then he's not anymore, you know, like the robot version.
Well, I think it would have worked better.
You don't get anything like that.
It would have worked
like
nowhere. Whenever that part came up and it started, because I recently watched this movie about a month ago, and then obviously I just watched it yesterday. So like in both times I thought, man, this is like if RoboCop was a series, and this is like an episode where they reprogrammed him, and by the end of the episode, he hotwired
half an hour in. We've fixed it.
You're like, all right, yeah. So like, but like in this case, I'm like, this just it's unnecessary.
It led nowhere.
Yeah, it didn't go anywhere. Yeah. It kind of like it led to a couple. Like I liked the little soft baseball team like robbing the place and all that, and that it was funny.
Yeah, oh yeah,
and shit like that. But it was still like I was like, but it's unnecessary, you know.
Oh, they ran away? No, they're still here.
Yeah. So anyway, I would recommend, and I would definitely watch it again. I still love this movie. I think that they're both great. So
hey, I'm with you on it. Like I loved it. I was thoroughly entertained up until Kane became a robot, and then it was just like, okay, first of all, like we've got the pinnacle, RoboCop. You have the technology, but we're gonna take 5 steps backwards and go with what doesn't work. Like,
right?
It just doesn't make any sense from, you know, not that the movie makes a whole hell of a lot of sense, but at least like it's coherent up until that point, and then it's just kind of like it falls apart. Like Kane is not a very convincing bad guy at the end. Like when they're fighting, it
doesn't take much to take him out.
Like, he just jumps on top of his back and starts pummeling him like a little kid. Oh, that's how we're gonna do things. It was lame. The ending was lame. Kane being a robot was lame. All of it. Like you have all this cool stuff happening up until that point. And it's cool in the sense that it's entertaining, not that it's good like RoboCop 1 was, just that it's entertaining. And then you get to that part where Kane busts in and he's a robot now and he kills everybody, including the kid and the lady, and it's like, why would he do that?
I think that if they were going to make Kane a RoboCop or whatever, they went about it the wrong way. At least for the final sequence. You know what I mean? Like, but
they were leading up to that, though. Like, all the robots that they kept unveiling and stuff, like, they didn't make a lick of sense either.
Right.
There was no, like, whoever came up with RoboCop, like, did they fire him or what? You know what I mean? Like, it's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. I would recommend it, but I'd warn people, like, hey, it falls off at a certain point. But I would recommend it because I found it entertaining. I don't know if
but the end battle sequence is still pretty entertaining.
From the perspective that you're like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
exactly what I thought. Like, but especially the elevator shaft part. When it comes, like, pretty much, like, I don't know what the hell that... Like, all I could think was, like, aliens?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you want me to read it, or you guys...
Sorry, yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You're up.
Oh. Meh.
Meh.
Meh. I mean, I wouldn't hurt me not to watch it again. I mean, it's one of those, like,
Right.
You know?
I wouldn't mind watching it again with someone else and just being like, the whole time just watching their face.
Like you said, the Kane robot just...
It killed him for me. It was. I was done at that point.
The girl was trying to seduce a robot for a second, and then he's like, something glitched in his head, and he killed her. You know,
well, I feel like I could have made him look cooler at least. You know what I mean? Like he looks retarded.
Yeah, he's not scary. He's not.
He looks like a big mechanical mess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's really what he looks like.
Yeah.
What would have happened if you would have shot that hazard?
Shot the piss out of him, and like all the
just
wires
that little one spot that had the hazard sign on it.
Yeah.
What would happen if you shot that?
you see Detroit become the H-bomb.
Yeah.
What's that in the distance?
Oh, there goes the fucking Motor City. Motor City's gone, guys. All right. Madison is going to read, and we are going to discuss. Go ahead.
All right.
Not to mention, no.
RoboCop is slowly coming to grips with the loss of his former life as Alex Murphy. Though he attempts to reach out to his family, he eventually realizes he can never return to them. When he finally sees his wife, he tells her that the face was placed on him to honor Alex Murphy. Omni Consumer Products, OCP, plans to have Detroit default on its debt so that OCP can foreclose on the entire city, take over its government, and replace the old neighborhoods with Delta City. A new community development.
I will say that, like, RoboCop being, like, Alex Murphy was RoboCop. So in this movie, what they did essentially was, like, take away Alex Murphy and make him RoboCop. Like, they're like, it was their way of, like, saying, all right, like, they did away with his whole family, the idea of that. So I think that they're trying to do that to not hinder the story with it.
Yeah.
Which is understandable. But at the same time, I'm like, but dude, Alex Murphy is what made RoboCop so special. So don't take that away. You know what I mean? Like, you're taking that away from his character.
What they were going for was he was releasing his wife and kid.
Yeah.
So, but they made it almost an afterthought.
Yeah.
And then the other...
This is like right at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, and the other problem that I have is like, okay, so they're coming at him like he's in trouble, right? Like, they're coming at him like parents, like, tag teaming, you did wrong, you're a terrible thing, like, blah, blah, blah. And then the one guy's like, she's suing the city. And then she comes in, she's like, you're Alex.
Like, hold on.
Wait.
Are you suing the city, or I mean, what's going on?
Yeah, like, I'm confused, because on one hand, you're acting like you want him to go away, but on the other, you're begging him to admit that he's Alex. Like, what is it that you're trying to do
What
here?
do you want from me, woman?
Yeah. I mean, if he was still human, he'd be very confused.
Yeah.
Am I bad or good? What?
Like, so you want me or you don't?
Yeah, like, that was the first convoluted thing I noticed where I was just like, huh?
Yeah, it was very dumb.
Yeah.
Like, well, she's here. She wants to see him, like, but she don't want to see him, I thought. Like,
yeah,
what
no, that's what he was in trouble over.
Yeah, so, all right. Yeah, go ahead.
Toward that goal, OCP forces a police strike by terminating their pension plan and cutting salaries. As RoboCop is legally the property of OCP, he cannot strike and continues his duty with the assistance of his faithful partner Ann Lewis.
Who was very, very underutilized in this movie.
100%.
Like, she was one of the best parts of the first movie, and honestly, she's the only good thing about the third movie, because that movie sucks balls, and she's the only good thing about it. So yeah, she's very underutilized in this movie.
That's how I felt about April O'Neil in the second Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
Yeah, that's very true. But she was very utilized in the third one, which is honestly still the weakest of the three.
Yeah.
I remember having a RoboCop toy with a jetpack on.
That was from the third movie.
Yeah, I know.
Meanwhile, the Security Concepts division of OCP continues to sink millions into developing a more advanced RoboCop 2. However, each project ends in disaster. Once the newly transformed officers realize what they have become, they become suicidal and self-destruct. They figure out that Murphy only survived because of his exceedingly strong sense of duty and his moral objection to suicide. Dr. Juliet Fax. Two X's. Fax.
Oh.
Dr. Fact.
Dr. Fax.
Yeah.
She's got facts for days.
Facts, bro.
Facts, bro.
Alright, a company psychologist.
The like motivation behind the company. Like, so they want to strip it and then like rebuild a city. But wouldn't it make more sense to keep the city just a little crooked and continue to make money off of that? Whereas if you build a new city, you actually have to take care of that.
Well, I think that for them, I'm sure that the CEO of OCP there, the old man, he's like, he sees it as like complete capital gain for him because he's going to own it all. He'll own everything and everybody that lives in it, along with all of the corporation and industry.
I don't understand how that works, though. And this is what I mean by that. Okay, so like Detroit is still a part of America in 1990.
Yeah.
A city that's in that much shambles and in that much crime, like every fucking person that has a business is getting...
Military would be there.
The military would be the National Guard would be there. 100%.
Yep.
And like Dr. Fax, her her whole thing, like the old man just going along with her plans, makes no sense either.
Oh, I know.
Because she's a total liability.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, especially when she's like, "Hey,
they're putting a lot of faith in this woman who has no credentials to back
yeah." They're
her
like,
up.
"Oh, let's put a drug-addled criminal mind into this," and he's like, "Yeah, sounds great."
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea.
I mean, we learned with Frankenstein that an abnormal brain doesn't work.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, and this is a mech.
I don't know. I don't get it either.
Okay.
I didn't
All right.
understand that
I
logic
thought maybe
either.
there was something I wasn't
why is this
getting.
dude just
It's
going along with what this
Frankenstein.
bitch says?
Sorry.
Like,
So sorry. I that is on me. I apologize.
she spent a lot of time under his desk, is what it was. Like,
Oh, 100%. She walks in there,
All
that
right,
hot
fine.
tub. She's in there in the hot tub
Yeah.
scene. It's like, oh, we know what's going on.
you know what's going on? She fucked her way to the top. Like,
For
She
sure.
definitely fucked her way to the top.
For sure.
That old man was like, I ain't had nothing that young in a while. You know what I mean? So, like, that's what he was thinking. Like, all right, dude.
Yeah.
A
And then
company
he completely
psychologist.
threw her under the bus.
Oh, right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And he gets in the car with her, too. It's like, why wouldn't you just leave her there? You done fucked her over. Like, she's going to get...
No,
why would you
he's
put her in
playing
the car?
nicey nice with her until she finds out that she's fucked.
Maybe he's going to get one more bang in.
Maybe, probably.
All right.
Fucking
Yeah, talk me
ridiculous.
into
Give me
it.
the blue pill.
Dr. Fax and company psychologist approaches the OCP president to convince him to let her take over the project. Fax wants to try using criminal with a desire for power and immortality. A new designer drug named Nuke has been plaguing the streets. The primary distributor, Kane, believes that Nuke is the way to paradise and is obsessed with power. He is assisted by his girlfriend Angie, his juvenile apprentice Hob, and corrupt police officer Duffy, who has an addiction to the nuke itself. Having learned of Kane's location from Duffy after beating it out of him, RoboCop confronts his gang at an abandoned construction site. However, they overwhelm Murphy and cut his cybernetic body to pieces, though he remains alive.
He got pulled up by a magnet, right? He's pulled up by a magnet, and he's like this. Like, your arms and legs are free,
Yeah.
and you're just allowing, like, this to happen.
Right.
They even, like, his arms and legs are free, and they're like, chaining him down. Like, where is your will to live? Like, fight, punch, kick.
Yeah. Do something.
Like, but he's just, Like, what?
Yeah, they took him down really easily.
Too easy.
Especially after, like, the brutal beating that he essentially took from the big RoboCop. At the end, you're like, so you can take a beating like that, but you couldn't take what they did to you? Like,
Yeah. Well, the bigger problem is that, like, his arm has more power than 4 of those guys. Just do this, and then they can't lock you down. I mean, he's got unlimited energy. They're human.
Right.
Like, that was the problem, is that they locked him down, and then they locked him down, and then they, like, stripped him like a car.
right.
Like, okay, I can buy that, but they should have never been able to tie him down to begin with. My opinion.
Your opinion's pretty
Solid,
good.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I deny your reality.
Okay.
Get your own world.
Physics still exists.
What is physics?
Wow, his world is the loony bin, so... Karen...
You're just not figuring that out.
Took you long enough.
He makes up his own rules.
I do too.
Okay.
Who needs rules?
Rules are for chumps.
They're meant to be bent.
Maybe cracked a little.
Okay, so I'd have my amount of crazy today. Bye, guys.
That's enough. I'm out.
His parts are thrown out of the back of a car in front of his local precinct station, where OCP reluctantly foots his massage repair costs.
That brings me to another thing. When they stopped and threw things out, they like threw 2 small pieces and left. And then when you see the camera, it's like the whole fucking body's
It's
just
like his torso and a leg.
That, and they throw it out so easily too.
Yeah.
Like they're just light pieces of plastic. And I'm thinking, like, but those are like, that's heavy machinery right there. Like, I bet that his arm alone would be enough for
at least
like
150
2
pounds.
guys would have to pick that up and throw that out. You're not just gonna be like, ha, here it is. You know what I mean? Throw it around like it's a plastic cup. You know?
And in all honesty, OCP, like, saying, like, RoboCop sucks and we don't want anything to do with him anymore, like, trying to act like he's not good or whatever is the stupidest thing ever.
It is, because
he literally
he's
has
very
a
effective.
sense of duty. He's the only cop you've got right now. Like, I know that's not
He's
what
the
they
only
want,
one that worked.
but like to just scrap him instead of like trying to learn from it, to use it for their own nefarious
Not
reasons,
to mention,
makes
you
no
know
sense.
how many different like humane societies and all that would be all over their nuts because they used an actual man's brain to make this cyborg, and then for them to just scrap, like no fucking way. Not to mention, in the first movie, the old man was very, very grateful to him
Yeah, he was.
for everything that he did, and then in this one, he's just like, oh, he's just a piece of fucking metal. Like, he's no, dude. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's an asshole for no goddamn reason.
Like, you're dumping all this money in
Into
when
something
you've got
that you've
the
already
perfect-
got. Like,
Yeah.
you've already got an effective RoboCop. Like,
well, I don't think they wanted effective. That was the problem with him. But you can learn
they wanted
from
something.
him.
They wanted something they could control.
Like like not to take advantage of learning from him and pretending like they're his friend or something is the stupidest thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's literally your creation. You own it. So, like, wouldn't you have, like, some testing or something to say, like, okay, this is what worked with him. Let's try to reuse that in some way. Like,
Meanwhile, Duffy is ambushed, beaten, and tied down to a hospital bed by Kane's affiliates. Sure. Kane then orders the surgeon to kill him by vivisection, as Angie and Hobb watch in terror and hear him screaming. Fax and a new RoboCop team repair Murphy, programming him with over 300 new directives added for public relations. Murphy is powerless to ignore the new commands and is unable to take any aggressive actions against criminals. After the original RoboCop team realizes that he would need a massive electrical charge to reboot his system, Murphy goes outside and grabs onto a dangerous power line transformer to erase all of his directives, both new and old. The picketing officers drop their signs and agree to help him. He convinces them that Kane is more important than any strike right now. The Force follows his lead to attack Kane's hideout. Kane is badly injured in a car accident while escaping from the battle. With Kane immobilized, Hobb takes control. Fax, having decided that Kane is perfect for the RoboCop 2 project, arrives at the hospital and switches off his life support. Of course he does. Meanwhile,
It's the best thing she did all movie.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Hobb arranges a secret meeting with Mayor Marvin Kuzak.
Another subplot in the movie that I'm like, just was oversaturated with small, like, other plots. I'm like, this is just, like, I get that the city is in debt and they, all this money, which 40-some million doesn't seem like a lot, but which really it's not. It shouldn't be a lot, honestly, for a city like Detroit, 40-some million. But at the same time, I'm thinking, like, man, this whole subplot is just completely unnecessary.
well,
like,
and what was Hobbs' reasoning? Like, what's he going to gain out of it?
immunity, essentially. He wanted to fully distribute nuke without any interference.
That's right. See, it was so convoluted. I missed.
So that was the main idea behind that, which makes sense, but still, $48 million or whatever the fuck
50.
it was.
It was an even 50.
Well, he made an even 50. He was gonna, but I'm like, but I feel like the city, they've got that. You know what I mean? They gotta have that.
No, they don't. That's the whole point. They're broke. They can't repay OCP, and OCP's gonna.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, owing OCP 40-some million. This dude's dropping $90 million in just a robot. Like,
well, yeah, OCP is. They're not.
that's what I'm saying. Like, how does the city not have 50 mil just sitting around?
Because they're not OCP.
I know, but I'm saying, like, for a city, Sydney's got fucking 50 mil. You know what I mean?
Not when you've got OCP bleeding them dry.
Maybe, I don't
know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. They sold their souls, and then they wonder why they're not getting anywhere.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, they gave OCP the control and the power, and then they, because they were struggling, and now they're really struggling because OCP won't let them out from. It's kind of like back in the medieval days, right, where you had the lord and the serfs, and you kept the serfs just happy enough to not revolt, right? Or whatever. It's the same thing with the city. They did the same thing with the city for a while.
Yeah, they wanted the city to crumble so that they could essentially take the city.
Yeah, it's essentially a debtor, right? Like,
yeah.
So, somebody who owns
we'll lease this to you, but only if you put a lien on the city. Yeah. And if you don't pay, then we get the city.
Yeah, we'll give you. Yeah, we gave you a loan to bail you out. You missed a payment. We're foreclosing.
Yeah. So now we're taking the city from you. Mm-hmm. Is what's happening. So,
loan sharks.
Yeah, that's essentially what OCP was. They were a big ass loan shark.
Yeah.
And,
I just think that it was kind of funny that they took money from a corporation that looks very Nazi-like.
I know.
At the end.
Oh yeah,
like that big flag. Yeah, and the officers walking around with their fucking SS uniforms.
And that's exactly what they were going for.
The Gestapo. Yeah, like, and then you're surprised that they reneged.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm like, dude. I'm like, you literally like.
Did you look at their logo?
Look at it. It's a red flag with an emblem on it.
It's a red flag with a white circle and black letters.
Like literally a red flag. Like it's
very
like in your face. Yeah. Like this is a reason. There's a reason why most companies don't use giant red emblems. It's because it's a red flag, quote unquote. Like,
and bison.
And bison. Yeah, he's a good answer right there. Like it's just, dude.
No, like Eric said, the Gestapo walking around like you were confused.
Yeah. Yeah, they're walking around like a couple of fucking Nazi generals, dude. Like, come on.
Offering to bail out the city's debt to OCP, but only if he agrees to a hands-off policy for the distribution of nuke. Since this would hinder OCP's attempts to take over the city, they sent the new RoboCop 2 in to kill everyone. While the mayor escapes through the sewers, everyone else at the meeting is slaughtered. RoboCop arrives too late, just in time to comfort a dying Hobb, who identifies Kane as the attacker.
Which is one of the most tender-hearted parts of the movie, aside from at the very beginning, whenever RoboCop had to admit that he was a robot and not Alex Murphy. Like, those two parts of the movie are the two most, like, sincere parts of the movie, was when that kid died and when Alex Murphy...
I only felt that way with the kid. Like, when the whole thing happened with him and his wife, I felt nothing.
No, not with his wife, whenever they were trying to get him to admit. Like, the look on his face and the way he did it, like, was very... You almost felt for him in a way.
Yeah, 100%.
But the kid was like, I was like, man, that sucks. Because you got to think about it, like, yes, he's a bad guy, but he's still just a kid.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
During the unveiling of Delta City and Kane / RoboCop 2, my bad, at a press conference, the OCP president unwittingly, I had to think about it, presents a canister filled with nuke.
Which is bullshit. He knew.
He had to have known.
And if he didn't know, then shame on him.
Yeah, for not paying closer attention to
what your crazy Dr.
Dude, are you is he just the guy? Is he the man in the high tower who's just throwing money at shit and not paying attention to what he's throwing money at? Like, that's the only thing I could think. Like, and he's like, oh, just throw some lawyers at it. Like, no, dude. Like, how can you even be a successful businessman if you're not even involved in your business? Like, you're just throwing money at the wall, essentially. Like, he's like, I threw $90 million at that. That was dumb. You know what I mean? Like, no, dude, you're a terrible businessman.
Yeah, like, how do you just trust somebody implicitly like that and just say, I don't care what you're doing? Like, you have to care.
Yeah,
it's literally your job.
And it would be different if she, like, actually rises up through the ranks. No, dude, you literally just met her. Because you're like, who's that? You know what I mean? Like,
nice legs.
Yeah. He's like, who's that? Oh, yeah, throw a bunch of money at her. Like, with no care. Like, you are a terrible businessman. How you own this entire corporation is beyond me. Because you trust too many dumbass people.
Pulls out Nuke knowing his fucking robot is attached.
Well, that in the first one. Take for the first one, for instance. Like, in the first movie, he's, like, hiring these terrible people. Like, I'm sorry, but, dude, even in any business, any factory, anywhere you work, there's a chain of command, and just above you, I guarantee you that person who's in charge of you knows every fucking step you're making, because they wouldn't be in that position if they didn't have that kind of like control, if they didn't understand what the job was. This old guy would not be able to run a multi-million-dollar business and company without vetting everybody that works under him and knowing where all his money is going. This is a man who is very, very good at what he does. This man is not. This man, I don't know how he is rich or how he has all these things and all this money.
It makes sense in the first one.
Almost no, it doesn't even make sense in the first one because the two guys under him are shitbags too. How does he not know that or see that?
Well, I can see that when you have most CEOs. Most CEOs are not involved directly with their businesses unless they're having some kind of meeting, right?
But they're not just going to say, "Yeah, put that lady in charge and let her."
No, but he
build
was
the
there
next
though.
RoboCop.
He was there in that one. He was boots on the ground. In the first one, he wasn't so much. So maybe he's out, setting up other OCP areas, or maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like
I'll give him credit for the first one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
but the second one, I'm like, dude, no.
In the first one, the CEO not having boots on the ground and not having 100% idea of what's going on day to day makes sense to me. But in this one, he's there.
Yeah, he's there
every day.
Well, he also put that lady in charge without even knowing who she was.
Yeah,
without knowing anything about her, no credentials, nothing. Yeah, go ahead, let her take over.
Oh, she had credentials.
Yeah, her mouth.
Her mouth.
yeah. So, I mean, like, I just didn't. He makes no sense. He's terrible. He's a terrible businessman. Like,
no, makes no sense.
Anyway, go ahead.
Kane loses control, destroys the control device that arms his weapons, and opens fire on the crowd. RoboCop arrives, and the two cyborgs battle all over the building, eventually falling off the roof and crashing through to an underground facility. As the rest of the police force arrives and engages Kane, RoboCop heads back to the OCP building to get the canister of nuke. Seeing the canister, Kane stops fighting and administers the drugs to himself. While Kane is distracted, RoboCop jumps onto his back, punches through the armor to Kane's brain, and rips it out of the machine, killing him. The OCP president, Johnson, and OCP lawyer Holzgang discuss the company's liability for the massacre and then decides to use facts as a scope gate. Lewis complains about how OCP is escaping prosecution, but RoboCop tells her to be patient. They are only human.
Yeah. Dumbest final line in a movie ever.
It was really dumb. I was like, relax. We're only human. I'm like, oh my god, that was cheesy and stupid.
And why did they change the music?
Hour of the movie.
The theme in the first one is so good.
Oh yeah.
And then this one is like, this sounds lame.
It was the same kind of, but it was like, but they like.
No, they were ripping off of Terminator.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. Probably because Terminator. I don't know when did Terminator 2 come out, so that might have been.
Well, the first one. It sounds like the first one with the deep dun dun.
Yeah.
Like.
You guys have anything you want to cover before we rate and all that?
Not really.
No. All right. Okay.
Fuck this movie.
Let's go this bitch.
Okay. Madison, what did you think of RoboCop 2?
I'm going to put her down for a 9.
Huh?
I said I'm going to put her down for a 9.
It's a tenner.
It's a tenner. 11.
This one's a good old...
It always goes to 11.
Tenner.
11.
11.
Why 11?
I really didn't like this movie. It was boring, and I kind of wanted to fall asleep.
I don't know if I would call it boring.
I thought it was boring.
I don't know if I'd call it boring.
Any movie that's too long is boring.
It was a little long. I'll give you that. But not by a lot.
That, and you're right, it was hard to keep up with everything that was going on. Especially whenever Amelia's trying to watch it with me, and she's got about 40 questions. I'm like, girl...
I know as much as you know.
I didn't even watch the first one.
I've been watching the same movie as you.
Yeah. I know as much as you know.
She's like, but how? I'm like, oh.
Should be like physics.
She's probably gonna go home like, Dad, we watched this movie. It was called RoboCop, and her dad's gonna be like, yeah, it's awesome. That's what her dad's gonna say.
Yeah. I didn't think so.
Maybe just
Many
kinda
years
looked at
later,
me
he finds
whenever-
out it's part
Well,
2.
she kind of looked at me whenever it was over. She goes,
I'm going to bed now.
that was the exact look she gave me too. Like, yeah. Are you
That was
tired
a waste
yet?
of time.
Yeah.
I
But
haven't seen the third one.
but I don't really want to watch it again. I'm not gonna lie. I don't care to. If it's on, I probably wouldn't sit down and watch it. I'd probably go somewhere else.
Okay.
RoboCop 2's on. I gotta get out of this house.
Yeah. Guys, I'm gonna walk.
Just like they do in Lord of the Rings, which is longer.
Yeah, but I'll watch that because it's entertaining.
Even the trees walked.
Even the trees walk.
They have dragons.
I'm gonna go down to the forest or the wooded area and see if the tree wants to walk with me.
Did you see that little clip I sent you on Facebook? The Lord of the Rings one.
Oh yeah, the cartoon. Yeah, that's funny.
It was pretty funny.
I was watching it, and Madison was like doing something in the other room, and I was like, I thought about hollering for her and showing it to her. I was like, she wouldn't get it.
She would get it.
Still show her.
Yeah.
Anyways, if it's offensive towards the Lord of the Rings, then I'd probably just get offended and probably not talk to you. I'm not gonna lie.
It's not so much offensive. It does pick some fun at it. It does pick fun at it.
A little bit.
So
A
You
lot
guys
of it.
wouldn't
a lot
get
of
it.
it. Yeah,
A lot of it.
You guys wouldn't get it.
It's definitely like a parody cartoon. So go ahead. What's your
It's
review?
just basically like the whole movie in like 10 seconds.
Yeah, more like a minute and a half, but yeah.
If it's just I'm walking for 10 seconds.
No.
Well,
Yeah.
a minute and a half is 10 seconds compared to the movies.
Yeah.
All right, come on. What's your review?
I'm gonna go ahead and give this movie a 4 because I didn't like it.
Okay. She's just giving you the death.
I know, it's okay.
Sorry.
First time.
Sorry.
It's not
You just
the-
zoned
it's-
out.
No, I was raised to do that.
No, you
remember?
weren't. You just did it on your own.
Okay, but you
I didn't say,
stop
hey,
me
Madison,
either.
death stare that person. I didn't teach you that. Like, you did that shit to me all the time.
Bullshit, that's what you
Like,
do
what are
when
you
she was
looking at,
little. Like, we'd
Madison?
be
And
sitting
she's,
there
like,
and all of a sudden
staring at
just
me.
little Madison's just,
Yeah, she's just giving you the death stare. I'm like,
what I
dude.
do?
Like,
Why
what
is
are
your
you
kid
staring?
looking at
She
me
was
like
like 4
that?
years old doing it to me. I'm like,
Shows
what is
this
your
guy
issue?
there on cue. Duster.
Death stare.
Uh,
Dude, why is your child staring at me like that? That's what
Being
she
a
does.
dick.
That's what she does. You're being an ass. She gives you the death stare.
she wants free candy.
She's killing you right now with her mind.
She wants that chocolate shake right there. I would give it to her. Last guy didn't end up very well.
And then she hands it to me. Like, yes. This is my little seed of Satan, like a spawn of Satan right here. Like,
Sweet girl.
My little evildoer.
all right, so this movie's not as good as the first one, but it's
Yeah.
still good, and I still enjoy it. I actually, whenever I was younger, I liked this one more than I liked the first one. And I think it's because, I don't know, I just remember it differently. I remember it being far more entertaining. And maybe it was because of the big robot. I don't know why I liked it more than the first one. But as I've gotten older, I definitely like the first one more than the second one.
Same with the Ninja Turtles. He used to like the second one more.
I don't know if I probably did growing up.
He told me that because he
Yeah.
always asked me which one was my
Everybody
favorite.
liked
I
the
told him
second one more than the first one.
No.
I
because-
never
I
saw the
like the
second one
first
until we
one.
watched it.
Well, I'm saying like as a kid,
I like the first one.
Usually the first movie I have any
usually
is always
they
the
would
best
argue
one.
that about Bad Boys, but I disagree. The first one is better. I like the first Bad Boys more than the second one.
Yeah.
Suck it.
I'd have to watch them again.
I love the second or the first one more. Anyway, I'm gonna give this movie a 6.5. I think that there's a lot of things in this movie that don't need to be there. Actually, take that back. Give it a 6. I'm gonna give it a 6 because this movie isn't that great, but I still like it. It's like a guilty pleasure, I think, for me because I like the robots. RoboCop looks awesome, even though he does look kind of strange compared to the first one. But like you said, I love the colors in his metal or fiberglass, I guess.
It's fiberglass.
But it looks awesome. And but Alex, not Alex, fucking what's her face, didn't get enough play, which irritated me. I hated that they made the old man like this evil fucking corporation owner. But I do like the villains in this movie. I think they're awesome and they're fucking devious and The kid is awesome. Kane is awesome. It's a 6. I still like the movie, so I can't knock it. But
Which Bad Boys was it that they had the Jamaican guys? Was it the second one or the first one?
the Jamaican guys.
Yeah, they go into their house and he's like, "Who are you?" He said, "I'm the devil."
That's the second one.
That's the second one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the
I
second
think that
one.
was my favorite one.
Yeah. It's good. It's good. It's
That was
good
the
action
one. That was
flick.
the one with Martin Lawrence took ecstasy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the second one.
Yeah.
Dude, Martin Lawrence, have you seen the new one?
No.
Dude, Martin Lawrence is fucking hilarious,
Yeah.
dude. Like, he comes back in that new one, and this new one that just came out, like, last year or whatever. And, dude, he had me fucking rolling through the whole movie.
Martin
he was
Lawrence
fucking
is always
hilarious.
fucking hilarious.
Like, he thought he couldn't die. He's like, I am chosen. I can't die.
Yeah.
And, like, so he's just like, because, like,
Walking
through all the
around
other
like
movies,
shit's going on. He's just
through
like,
all the past 3 movies before that, he was always like,
I'm
we're
gonna
gonna
die.
die, we're gonna die. He was always paranoid and scared shitless. And this one, he's like, dude, I've realized I can't die. Like, that's what it is. I was sent here. Yeah, it's hilarious.
Did he die later in that movie?
No, he doesn't die. He never dies.
the son-in-law becomes a badass in it.
The son-in-law is a badass. Yeah, dude, he fucks some
Reggie.
shit up.
Yeah,
Reggie,
Reggie. It's
Yeah,
the same
Reggie.
Kid, same
No,
guy.
I know,
Same kid.
I know. I've seen the previews.
He's like watching him on the camera fuck up these like 20 special ops dudes coming in the house. He's like, that's my fucking son-in-law. Like the only time he's ever praised him for anything.
Yeah, any other time it's like he came in his house and he's fucking bitching because everybody was like eating his snacks.
Yeah.
He's like, "Why the fuck you eat my potato chips?"
He's like, Reggie, when the fuck you gonna get a job? He's like, I do have a job. I'm a U.S. Marine. I'm in the U.S. Marines. He's like, I don't even know what he says. He's just bitching him out and shit. It's fucking hilarious.
I'll have to check it out. So Jeremiah said he changed his mind. This is dog shit. Just wanted to clarify that because he felt like he had lied to everyone. So,
I
told him I'd let
believe you.
everyone know.
I think he still loves it. So
no, he was bitching so much. Honestly, the problems that I have with this movie, I'll just start there. The things that were awesome about the first one, you know, the fake commercials and the newsreels, they did that for 5 seconds.
Yeah, the
And
first one was
that
so
was-
much better with that stuff.
Yeah, that was really like, you know, it was a Paul Verhoeven thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I love it. I love it. You know, it started out with that stuff, so I was like, hey, we're starting out on a high note, you know, whatever. Then the other problem that I had with the movie is that everything looks so fucking cheap this time around.
It does. The third one's even worse about it.
Well, it's funny because I believe that this one had a bigger budget. I'm pretty sure I looked,
yeah.
had a bigger budget. But I mean, like, not to mention, the claymation, you know, we talked about that a little bit for a second, but like that looks like dog shit for a
Yeah.
big budget movie. Like it's on par with like The Gate, you know, it's bad. And then the other thing, and it's glaring because they're on there so much, is the cop cars. They literally look like black primer and somebody put a white sticker that said Detroit Police on it.
Well,
That's what they look like.
That's what they look like in the first one, though, too.
yeah.
I know, but like that makes sense because it fits more the vibe, right? Like
The aesthetic tone of it, yeah.
and the fact that they didn't have a huge budget for that one. That makes sense. They have a bigger budget in this one. They give him fiberglass, so that's cheaper, right? Which I don't really have a problem with, right?
Because he still portrays it pretty
it's
well.
fine. I can get over that. But like you're saving money on the costume. Like where'd the money go? You know, we can't dress up the movie a little bit. Now I did like what they did do for 5 seconds with the commercials and stuff. They were pretty funny and they were good. They were along the same lines. They just didn't keep it up
Yeah.
throughout the movie.
They should have done a few more just periodically throughout the movie. It would have been
Mhm.
great.
Yeah, and you know, I feel like some of the things that really could have helped the movie, they didn't do well enough. Like the thing with him and his wife, they really could have portrayed that in a way that really hit home a little bit. Instead, it's like this. It's almost like this throwaway.
Yeah,
Right,
like
we
they're
just
like,
want-
all right, well, we need
just
to
want
get
this out of the way.
we need to get this small subplot from the first movie out of the way, so we don't have to deal with it in this movie.
Right. And then they have all these other subplots that go nowhere.
Yeah.
And Kane is not even the bad guy in this movie. You've got 70 of them, right? You've got Hobb, you've got Kane, you've got Dr. Fax, you've got the old man. which one are we supposed to be focusing on?
Pretty much when Kane dies, you're like, okay, well, he was supposed to be the intimidating one, and he's dead now.
And then the robot with Kane,
which took Kane out of it completely.
Yeah,
to me,
it's the worst thing ever. The robot Kane is less scary than Hob. I mean, it's
robot
nothing.
Kane is less scary than human Kane. Like,
yeah, well, I mean, even still, like it makes it's dog shit at a certain point. So I really liked it up until Kane became a robot, and then like I was over it. It was bad, and there was like no redeeming factor at that for me. So 4.5.
All right, Eric, what do you think, man?
She gave it lower than what I was going to, but yeah, I mean, I'm at the same.
Honestly, thought you were going to go a little bit higher than that.
Yeah.
No, like the thing about it is, okay, like I can be entertained, right, and I can really like a movie.
It's
but
always the ending that gets
if
to
the
her.
ending comes around and I feel
You feel
shorted.
cheated.
Yeah, I feel cheated at that point, and it pisses me off.
Yeah.
Like if you can't make the ending match the rest of the movie for me, like you can suck it.
Especially for a 2-hour movie,
right?
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I'm right there with Karen. I mean, when she says, the ending really kills the movie. Claymation. And, I mean, other than that, I mean, I thought the movie was entertaining, so I give it a 5.5.
Okay.
So it's an even 5.
Sounds about right. Honestly,
You guys,
it's like
you
a
guys.
mid thing.
It's a meh.
You guys, don't hate on the creators too much. They're just human.
I got that reference. I get it, man. That was funny.
Yeah.
That was good.
That was good.
Good.
It's good.
Mhm.
Real good. Real good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right,
You guys are gonna miss
critics.
Critics, I'm going to say is complete dog shit. I'm going to say they gave it like a 20%.
Yeah, that's a pretty good guess. I'm gonna go up though.
32.
Ooh.
Fuck, I was gonna go 30. I'm gonna go higher than her. 35.
Madison's gonna take it. It is a 28%.
Damn. I should have just went 30, man. I
No,
should have just
when
went
you said
30.
30, I was like,
Oh,
I should have just went 30.
It's just $1. 31.
Yeah,
how about audience?
I feel like the audience is probably
Slightly
a little higher.
don't say 40. I wanna say
45.
That's what I was going to say, but I'm thinking a little bit lower.
Trying
I'm
to
going
get in
say
there before you guys do.
35.
35.
40.
You got it.
Damn.
It is 37%.
Damn.
What?
See, you got to do
How
the
did
$1.
they even greenlight a third movie? Like,
Less satisfying rehash that generally lives down to the negative stereotypes of sequels. RoboCop 2 tries to deliver more of everything and ends up with less. 1 star. Worse than the PG-13 ones by not utilizing its R rating and turning its engrossing man trapped in a machine gimmick into a brainwashed, out-of-order scrap of metal.
yeah, they really didn't utilize that R rating as well as they could have.
No. Feels completely removed from the first. 2 stars. Clearly watered down to cater to a teenage audience that the studio didn't expect to have, or more specifically their parents at the box office. RoboCop 2 loses most of what made the original a classic.
So was this PG-13 or R?
R.
I was to say, because there were a lot of F-bombs in this, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
2 star, more of a farce than utilizing the element of satire like the original to pass it off as a serious sci-fi action film with the element of comedy. I do not understand why the potential storyline of the Alex Murphy flashbacks was not developed. Oh, and why is a 12 to 13-year-old boy a crime ring boss? It started out as humorous with some satire like the original film, but went downhill fast. Glad I did not grow up with this, even though I could have at the time.
I don't think that the 13-year-old boy is a crime lord. That didn't bother me.
No, because
didn't
if
bother
you
me.
really look at the
Because
society in that movie...
He had a very adult mentality.
Well, like I
think
said,
that-
the society in that movie, the kids were all fucking criminals.
Yeah.
Well, I think that the problem is that it's played up sort of as a satire. Like they try to use that as a type of satire, but they don't play up satire in the movie enough for that message to come across.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
1 star. Whose idea was it to make the antagonist a spoiled, annoying brat? This movie had some good ideas, but feels more like bad fan fiction than a legit story.
Again, he didn't bother me. He really didn't bother.
He didn't mean either, but I think that the message gets gets lost. 1 star, vacuous, empty, and worthless. Another 1 star. The plot is so weak that it is often hard to guess what will happen next. Uneven and hard to follow, what should be a fun follow-up to the original quickly disintegrates into a caricature of itself. While it tries to grapple with the issues of the day, money, corruption, technology, drugs, and crime, it fails to make anything more than a superficial commentary. Money bad, crime bad, movie bad. Hugely disappointing, especially as it was scripted by Frank Miller, part man, part machine, all crap. This movie was stupid and silly. The third was better, and of course the original.
Is the third better?
No.
I thought you guys would like that.
No, it's not.
The doll fight at
So
the
much
end was
better
cute.
CGI.
The third one, like this one might look cheap to you.
The doll fight.
This one might look cheap to you, but
I
the
know
third
that
one
was
it looks even more cheap. It's definitely a straight to DVD kind of movie.
It's so much better CGI. You'll love it.
The doll fight at the end was cute.
The doll fight at the end. That's exactly what it is. Like, this is like if I play with my toys. Like if I had these action figures and I'm like, watch this, guys. The big robot's gonna beat up the little robot.
I always mention this terrible film and say never again when people say The Empire Strikes Back was only good because Irvin Kershner directed it. That's it.
Okay.
Alrighty. Oh yeah. Where's that?
Sweet ass trivia with Karen.
I don't have much of that either.
That's fun.
RoboCop suit for this film was constructed purely of fiberglass. This allowed Peter Weller more freedom in terms of movement and gave the suit a far more metallic look. The scene in which RoboCop opens fire around the head of someone who is smoking, after which he says, "Thank you for not smoking," was actually licensed and run as a public service announcement ahead of several different films and many non-smoking movie theaters during the summer movie season that year. Some of the new directives: restrain hostile feelings, promote positive attitudes, suppress aggressiveness, promote social values, avoid destructive behavior, be accessible, participate in group activities, avoid interpersonal conflicts, avoid premature value judgments, pull opinions before expressing yourself, discourage feelings of negativity and hostility. If you haven't got anything nice to say, don't talk. Don't rush traffic lights, don't run through puddles and splash pedestrians or other cars. Don't say that you are always prompt when you are not. Don't be oversensitive to the hostility and negativity of others. Don't walk across a ballroom floor swinging your arms. Encourage awareness. Discourage harsh language. Commend sincere efforts. Talk things out. Avoid Orion meetings. Smile. Keep an open mind. Encourage participation. Avoid stereotyping. Seek nonviolent solutions.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
I'm pretty sure I've broken like every single one of those rules at some point.
Those are what he was programmed. Those are all things that they programmed in.
Which that was funny to me.
The don't walk through a ballroom floor with your swinging your arms. Is
Like if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't talk.
Don't talk.
Peter Weller criticized the script, saying it lacked the spine and the soul of the original. Weller tried to convince Frank Miller, Irvin Kershner, and the film's producers that the third act needed a morality angle instead of just being a shoot 'em up. The producers felt the battle between RoboCop and Kane was sufficient. After the success of RoboCop,
They felt wrong.
director Paul Verhoeven and the original screenwriters Edward Neumeier and Michael Miner were immediately approached by the studio for a possible sequel. According to Verhoeven, he didn't want to make the kind of sequel that the studio had in mind. He felt that going forward so quickly with their ideas would make it feel like he was attempting to cash in on the first film, and he only wanted to do a follow-up if it was original and innovative. Neumeier and Miner had already presented a very rough outline called RoboCop Corporate Wars. In this draft, RoboCop was to be shot and pulverized to metallic dust by a cannon at the very beginning. He would be resurrected 25 years later in an even more dystopian future where he becomes a pawn in the struggle between an all-powerful corporation, the government, and an impoverished population. At one point, RoboCop would have a love interest in the form of a neurobrain to humanize him even more. The studio liked the idea, but gave the writers a hard time.
That's a completely different movie.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
Gave writers a hard deadline to come up with a full screenplay, which they were unable to meet. Verhoeven also moved on to shoot Total Recall, but ultimately felt that the studio should have been patient and that Neumeier and Miner's idea for the sequel was far superior to the finished film. A new script was written by Frank Miller and Wallen Green, but the plot also had lines from the original script and early drafts for the first movie that were never filmed. In 2019, it was announced that Neumeier and Miner's rough draft would be the basis for RoboCop Returns, an alternative sequel to RoboCop that ignores RoboCop 2 and RoboCop 3. The point of view
shots... When did this happen?
2019.
That never happened?
It was a rough draft, so maybe it just never got greenlit.
I hate that, though. I hate whenever they try to make sequels to movies. They're like, let's ignore these other sequels. Like, dude, you're just making a
you already killed the franchise. It's the same thing that they've done with Texas Chainsaw over and over and over again. You've killed the franchise at this point. So just stop.
Yeah, stop.
Stop.
Do something new. Like, okay, make a sequel or reboot it, but do it right. But even then, we're still saying stop. Just do something new.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? RoboCop already exists.
What you did with the original was cool, right? Yeah. But like you've killed it now.
Yeah.
Just stop.
If you can't do it right the first time, don't do it at all, man.
Yeah. The point of view shots from RoboCop show an interface based on MS-DOS. The villain Kane had the Apple-based OS interface with a skull instead of the Apple logo. Director Alex Cox was asked to direct RoboCop 2 but turned it down, greatly disliking the original screenplay by Frank Miller. In an interview with The Guardian, Cox said Miller was ever thus. I was asked to direct his script for RoboCop 2 and turned it down. Unlike the original RoboCop, which trod a path between right-wing politics and left-wing irony, Miller's script was reactionary and obnoxious, pitting its robot police hero against homeless people. No wonder he is so popular with the Hollywood one-percenters. That's it.
Alrighty then.
What's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
We're not going to do the box.
Okay.
We're going to let Madison pick the last 2 weeks, since it's the last 2 podcasts she's going to be on.
You couldn't have warned me about this
I wanted
before.
it to be a surprise.
Surprise!
Surprise!
Hi.
I should have seen this coming. I should have pre-gamed.
Pre-game.
Dad, go get the mini beers things.
You want me to feed you alcohol?
The little beers, yes.
Oh my god! What do you want to do next week?
I don't know. You didn't let me think about it. You just said here.
Anything
you're on the spot.
In seeing? Or anything you're interested in seeing?
Or is there something that we need here to see before it's all?
I mean, I'll pull up the rolling. We can go through a few. Nope, that's on my phone.
There's nothing you can think of that you're like, man, we need to watch that shit and review that shit.
Give me 4 seconds.
It's got to be something that we know too. It can't be. There's this anime movie.
I wasn't gonna make you. I already thought about
Troll
that.
2.
The thought already ran
Troll
through my
2.
head, and I was like, no, I won't put them through that.
Oh my god.
Heathers.
I will not watch that movie. I
Why?
don't like musicals like that.
It's not a musical.
Oh, Heathers? I thought that was a musical.
No.
Never.
The Heathers?
No, Heathers.
No, what she's thinking of is the remake of Heathers, which I think is a musical.
Oh no, we're talking Christian Slater, Winona Ryder, baby.
Yeah.
Winona Ryder. I was about to say that.
Death Becomes Her.
We already did The Craft, didn't we?
No.
You don't want to do The Craft, I take it?
No, we've never done The Craft.
Oh. I like The Craft.
As long as it ain't that new shit.
What? There's a new Craft movie?
Yeah, Craft.
It was a remake.
Was it a remake or was it
I thought it was.
It was like a.
Either way, I'm not
reboot,
interested in seeing it.
Sequel. Yeah, I'm not either. I heard it was garbage.
I mean, most remakes are.
Yeah. There's nothing on the top of your list that you're like, man, it'd be great to do that.
Lost
White
Boys.
Chicks.
Oh my god.
Seriously?
Have you ever seen White Chicks?
Yes,
Yes.
we've seen White Chicks.
Oh.
Raising Arizona?
Arizona.
Yeah, shut up.
Arizona.
Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's going to be called from now
I
on.
like that movie.
Dun, dun,
I don't
dun,
know, man.
Dun, 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 dun.
Whatever Karen says.
Whatever Karen says.
Yeah.
But this ain't. If it's gonna be that, we'll just pull from the box.
No, because Karen said something earlier. And
I said Heathers. The first one was Heathers.
Then we can watch the
Death to
Heathers
Smoochie.
as long as it isn't a musical.
Ooh, Death to Smoochie. That's it.
It's up to her.
I don't know what Death to Smoochie is.
Well, think Barney.
Okay, so Heathers.
No, not like that. But I mean, like it's like
That
a
was a
dark
very
comedy.
long pause.
It's like a dark comedy.
Heathers
Yeah.
is a dark comedy, so is Death to Smoochie.
Yeah.
Heathers is about teenagers who do bad things, and
Yeah.
Heather's is about teenagers who do bad things.
yeah.
And Death to Smoochie is about kids.
Kids' personality,
Kids'
TV
personality, yeah, like Barney or
and they're like clashing.
yeah, and they do bad things.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Do any money, Mo?
I'll throw mine in.
I think, from my perspective, I think you'd be more into Heathers.
Okay, so let's watch Heather's.
All right, Heathers it is. Next week we're gonna watch Heathers with Winona
Winona
Ryder,
Ryder,
Christian Slater. Who's the other person in it?
I mean, there's more, but
It wasn't what's her face from.
Doherty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn it! What the fuck is her name? Something Doherty. She died.
Shannon.
Shannon Doherty.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she was on.
Yeah. Winona
Yeah.
Ryder, Christian Slater, Shannon Doherty, Sane
She
Fault.
was on. What's the name of that fucking show she was on? About the witches.
Oh, Charmed.
Charmed. Yep.
I
Charmed.
never watched it.
yeah.
Never
on
watched it. It's a good show.
Hoopla
It's
and
not a bad show,
Pluto.
honestly. Really?
He's talking about the old one, not the new one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she knows.
I was just never into WB shows. There's none of them.
Yeah, but back then they were actually kind of good. So now they suck.
I just got I just got a giant, like, cold gust of air come this way under
probably
the
a
table.
ghost.
Ghost,
It
yeah.
was under the table.
Just so you guys are
Get
aware, I've
away
never
from
seen
me.
Heathers
He's a
either.
pervert ghost.
I've never seen Heathers
Pull this
either.
down real
Oh, you've
quick.
never seen Heathers?
No.
That was
I've
one
watched it
I-
maybe once or twice.
I
It's
love
always
that
been on my
movie.
watch list. I need to watch that movie, but I've never
always
seen
loved that movie.
it. Yeah, I've never seen it. So,
Yeah.
and it's got Christian Slater and
Christian
fucking
Slater
Winona
doing
Ryder.
his best to be Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, it's
Seriously.
like I'm like what was a movie with him in it? Was it Hijacked? No. Was one
it
where
a
he was
newer
like
one, or
no,
is it-
it was
okay.
old. It was around that time where he was like the radio. He was like
Oh,
had his own like little radio show.
yeah,
but,
Pump Up
like,
the Jam.
yeah, that's what it was. Something
That
like
was
that.
bad.
I liked it. It wasn't.
I
It was cheesy as fuck, but it was good.
I didn't care for it.
But
What
anyway,
was that movie with him and John Travolta?
Broken Arrow.
Broken Arrow,
I
Had that
like
same
love-
girl in
I
it
like
too.
yeah. Love that
That
fucking
movie was
movie.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that movie.
That was back at like peak John Travolta, right before he
That was-
started to fall off.
That was
again.
also peak Christian Slater time too.
It
Nah,
was.
he was more like 80s.
That's
90s.
true. Yeah, his peak was in the 80s, I would
Yeah.
say.
Like, I'm not saying he did bad in Broken Arrow. I thought he did great. But,
Yeah.
like, I'm just saying that wasn't really, like, his high time.
No, the 80s was definitely, because he was definitely one of those, like, pretty boy sort of carrot people back in the 80s.
Oh, I was convinced I was going to marry Christian Slater at one point.
Shit, I would have married his ass back then.
Oh, fuck
He's a
yeah.
handsome dude. What was, so have we done Winona Ryder, or have we done, I know we haven't
thought
done-
we did
I
Winona
think
Christian
we
Ryder.
have done Winona, but I don't think we've done Christian Slater. Just saying.
I don't remember doing Winona Ryder.
I
Could
thought
be
we did
wrong,
it
though.
for Edward Scissorhands.
Might have. If
Yeah.
We did.
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Oh.
Beetlejuice? Okay.
Who did
All
we
right.
do for Edward Scissorhands?
We didn't do anybody. I don't think we're doing them yet. All right, next week we're going to do Heathers. So don't forget to check out socials, all that shit.
Yes.
Next week we're going to do Heathers. Be here. Go watch the movie if you've never seen it. It came out in the 80s, I believe, like the late 80s.
Yeah, I want to say like 89 or
Yeah,
something.
something like that.
So Madison, next week, think of a movie.
Yeah, think of a movie for next week.
Yeah, I
So.
gathered that.
Anyway, next week, Heathers. We'll see you guys later.
Bye.
88.
88. Bye.
Okay, bye. Bye.